Hello, everyone. This is Old School from WhatTheBuck.net coming to you live from Studio 76 in Valrico, Florida. Sorry, this post-game wrap-up's a little bit late. We had a live show on Sunday here locally in Florida in Largo for the game. We did 3 different shows, pre-game, halftime, and post, so we didn't do a show Monday night. But I want to get a video up here to kind of go over what I thought about the Miami Dolphins loss. A lot of people are out there belly aching about the officiating, and though I don't agree with what the call is or what the rule is, because I think the rule as it sits may have been called correctly, I just think it's a horse crap rule. And it didn't happen just to us that day. A very similar instance of it, though it wasn't about receiving a pass, it was recovering a fumble, happened to Dallas that night against Green Bay as well. It looked to me like Mike Clayton was on the ground, had the ball, had possession, had the ball ripped out of his hands, and that was the turnover. But at the end of the day, that one call does not a loss make. The Buccaneers went into this game. They played hard. Josh Freeman, rookie quarterback, had another good game. He's got to protect the ball when he's out scrambling around in the pocket and moving forward in the pocket. He had 4 fumbles. There were 4 fumbles yesterday. I believe he accounted for all of them. We only lost 1, but a number of them happened when he was trying to buy extra time in the pocket or step forward as the ends would crash back down and catch him from behind or whatever the case may be. Now, that's something that's going to work out with time. But as a quarterback, I thought Josh played very well yesterday. He made some good throws. His completion percentage still isn't what I'd like it to be, but he shows some touch on some passes. The touchdown pass from Maurice Stovall down the left sideline was an excellent throw, and it was a good play call, to be honest. And I don't think I can say that very often because I think Greg Olsen is absolutely horrible. And once again, I think that the play calling was horrible. They started out finally remembering we have Jeremy Stevens. They hit him early in the game. They hit Aaron Scram early in the game, and then we don't see him again the rest of the game because, well, why would you do that? Why would you use your weapons when you can instead have people run routes 20 yards down the field when you can't give your quarterback longer than 5 seconds to set in the pocket? But I digress. The pass to Maurice Stovall on the sluggo route towards the end of the game, what we thought was going to set us up on the 1-yard line that Maurice dropped, was a hell of a throw. So all in all, with Josh's progression, color me impressed, right? I did not expect a lot coming out of this kid. I knew he had the physical abilities. But I think by and large he's doing a damn good job and advancing each week. He didn't get the win this week, but he did what he needed to do, and he's continuing to be better in the fourth quarter than he is in the first. Now, what we'd like him to do is step it up 1 through 3 and play a consistently high level throughout the game. But in the fourth quarter, the kid's starting to look clutch. And if it weren't for some pretty horrible drops by our Buccaneer receivers, I think this game has a different tenor. I can't blame everything on the offense. Our defense, though it contained the Wildcat with the exception of the 145-yard tear that Ronnie Brown went on, I thought it did pretty well against the Wildcat in general. The fact that we got to the end of the game and had the lead, just like in the Carolina game, right? You get to the end of the game, you have the lead, or in Carolina, we're tied. But you're in a position to take a win or at least have a shot at the win, and your defense just has to get off the field. And in this case, they get the Dolphins the ball at like the 16-yard line, and the Dolphins just march right down the field and get in position to kick a field goal. And it's just demoralizing, especially for the offense who finally starting to put some stuff together. For the defense to go out there and then just get kicked in the groin like that is just abysmal. Jim Bates and his staff better get their heads out of their asses and do something to get this defense to be more formidable, whether it's bringing more pressure, whatever they've got to do, right? Whether it's a talent issue, Raheem Morrison's presser said that there's a problem with talent, which people have been saying all year, and he's been rejecting because he's the guy who went and got the talent, he and Mark Dominic. It doesn't matter. The result is we can't seem to stop people when we have to. Now, we did the week before with Green Bay. The defense stepped up, but we brought pressure. And somehow this week we were afraid to bring pressure. We were just pushing, rushing with 4. Chad Henne was able to sit back there and pick us apart, hand the ball off to Ricky Williams, let him run down the middle of the field for 20 yards, and all of a sudden they're in place for a Dan Carpenter field goal to win the game. Is it disappointing? Yes. The Dolphins are saying, hey, well, we didn't play our best game, but that's okay. It's all right. Hey, I'll tell you what, Dolphins, you guys are quite lucky you got out with a victory this week. This is the position of a bad team, though, right, that's trying to rebuild. We're gonna give people fits. We're going to lose more than we win, as is obvious by our record now, and that's going to continue, guys. We're going to get closer, which is nice. We're going to be competitive, but we're not going to get a lot of those wins. What we got to hope for is that it can be the catalyst to get the 1 or 2 pieces on each side of the ball and start bringing those things together and starting to get those victories, and hopefully they can snowball. Now, on the positive side of things, Clifton Smith had another great week. The special teams in general had a good week. Special teams contained the Dolphins' special teams return game, which has historically been challenging. Our special teams were very good. Clifton had a good return average. Connor Barth, it looks like we finally found a kicker. 3 kicks of 50 yards or greater, 50, 51, and 54, and all of them look like they could have been good from 60 plus. I don't want to get too excited yet. but that looks good. It's good to have a kicker you can actually trust. We haven't had one of those in a long time, and it's damn sad when that's what you're talking about in a post-game wrap-up. Now back to the negative side of the ball. 9 penalties for 77 yards, quite often at critical times. NFL.com was quite accurate in pointing that out. You can't have that kind of stuff. When you are a bad team, which we are, you cannot do stupid shit like that. You can't have the penalties. You can't have the drops. You've got to play your perfect game every week to be able to get that W. And I know that sounds like I'm asking too much, but it's not. These guys are professionals. That's what they're paid to do. They've got to get in there and play at a high level. 4 of 13 on third down, not going to get it done. 31% on third down conversions is not going to get it done. So, again, we got New Orleans coming in next week. New Orleans is a far cry from the Dolphins. New Orleans is playing very, very good football. I know they only eked a win out this week, but this is a very potent offense. It's a very potent offense through the air, which scares the living crap out of me with our secondary, the way it's playing. And it's going to be quite a challenge. We'll do a preview video for that a little bit later. A couple of other notes. In the first half, we had 7 possessions, scored on 2 of them, turned the ball over on 2 of them, and we punted on 3 of them. You cannot have that kind of a ratio and expect to be competitive. So Greg Olsen, again, you're not on my Christmas list. I thought the play calling once again was bad. You've got your rookie quarterback back there with long developing routes. John Lynch was even mentioning on the broadcast about how long those routes took to develop. You've got to be able to put Josh in a position where he can actually deliver the football and move the offense, make them pull guys back. And offensive line, if you haven't got the wake-up call yet, you better. We love those guys, a lot of talent, but right now it's not coming together on the field. So that's the review. Obviously very disappointed. Another victory we should have had. We shouldn't be sitting with 1 win. We should be sitting with closer to 3 or 4, which is still piss poor, but better than 1. And we'll go out this week and hopefully get number 2 against New Orleans and shock the world. And God, it would shock me, but that's what we got to do, is try and get out there and beat New Orleans. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you rate the video. And if you're interested in checking out the pregame show, come over to whatthebuck.net on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Thanks.